talking bold predictions today on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Brett Alper, and yeah, it's June, so we're going to give a little bit of bold predictions for us as we head into the summer. But before we get into anything, I got to ask you, what is your boldest prediction for the Patriots in 2025? It could be the most outlandish take possible, like a random one. Josh McDaniels could take over for Mike Vrabel halfway through the year. Not happening, but it can be a bold prediction. So, Sports Illustrated's article of 100 boldest predictions for the year. Let's go through 5 of them, which I thought were kind of wild. The Bills will win Super Bowl, what is that, 60. Yeah, Super Bowl 60. The Saints will be the worst team in the NFL. The NFL will propose a draft lottery. I would absolutely hate that. There will only be 3 new playoff teams. And the one that made me kind of laugh, they got wild at the end of the article, is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift call it quits. Can't believe they haven't already. Let's get into what they talked about the Patriots, and they made 2 specific bold predictions. And they made one that was really eye-opening to me, and I think this is 100% possible. And it's their head coach, their new head coach, Mike Vrabel, winning Coach of the Year. Conor, he said he would win the award, but they would miss the playoffs. Now, that really doesn't make much sense to me. Here's the full quote by Conor. Patriots will nearly sneak into the playoffs as a 7th seed, but will miss the postseason. While the AFC, particularly in the West, feels ruthless at the moment, there's still an opening for a grimy and competitive Pats team to finish 2nd in the East behind Buffalo. Now, personally, I really don't think this is that outlandish. You improved the offense, you improved the defense, you got way better in the offseason. You added a whole bunch of guys, including Stephon Diggs, which he finally showed up to OTAs. You've added Milton Williams, Harold Landry, so you have a better pass rush. Your offensive line, you signed Garrett Bradbury, you signed Morgan Moses, you drafted Will Campbell. This team is going to be a lot better than what we saw previous 2 years where they were both 4 winning seasons. But what Conor said, and I say big but because we have Cardi B and dating Stephon Diggs, and if you guys saw the video, yeah, we saw the videos that have come out. There's one big but about Conor Orr's take. He said he would win Coach of the Year, Vrabel, but they wouldn't make the playoffs. And this just doesn't make any sense. And I put Alper's take here as you have to make the playoffs to win Coach of the Year. This isn't a take. This is just absolutely facts. The stats back it up. I went back and looked at 20 previous years of every single Coach of the Year winner, and every single one of them have made the postseason. We look at the last 5. Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings. There's a little trend here that I see with Coach of the Year winners, and it's particularly that you have to bounce back from having an absolute terrible year to going and having a great year. The Vikings, they bounced back with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. Kevin Stefanski with the Browns. They brought in Joe Flacco and somehow made the playoffs. Brian Daboll took the Giants from the low-end part. Yeah, they're back there now. They're going to have a good season, I think, this year, but made the playoffs. Mike Vrabel in 2021, 1 seed with Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback, and then the Browns in 2020. They were the worst team in the NFL for so many years, and he took them to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield in 2020. The Patriots absolutely can make the playoffs, especially with that 7th seed. I've seen teams make the 7th seed barely going over 500, 9-8. The Patriots, that should be their floor at 9-8. I think the ceiling could be 10 wins, maybe 8 wins, 8-9. But look at their offseason additions. You have Stephon Diggs, Morgan Moses, Carlton Davis on defense, Harold Landry, Garrett Bradbury, Robert Spillane, Jack Gibbons. These are all very solid pieces. And I don't have the offseason departures, but you only lost Jacoby Brissett. You lost Jonathan Jones, Juwan Bentley. You got rid of David Andrews, who just wasn't healthy. But he's getting a press conference on Monday, which is awesome to see. Shout out to David Andrews. But the Patriots also have the easiest schedule, one of the easiest schedules this season. All of the teams that they play, they don't have a 500 record average. They have to play the Titans. They have to play the Giants. They have to play the Panthers. Their first 4 weeks of the season, if you go and look at their schedule, it is absolutely easy. They play the Steelers, who don't know who their quarterback. They're just banking on Aaron Rodgers to show up at some point. If they go into 2025 with Mason Rudolph as their quarterback, the Patriots are easily going to win that Week 3 game, and that gives you 4 wins right there. Yeah, you have to play the Bills twice. I'll give you wins against the Dolphins. You should beat the Jets twice. I don't care about Justin Fields. It's easy. It's very easy for the Patriots to make the playoffs. It's extremely easy for the Patriots to make the playoffs with their schedule, with the amount of players that they added, and their only loss is a backup quarterback, a defensive player, but not a ton. Not a ton. And I'm really looking forward to this season because I think this is the most excited season that Patriots fans have to see since probably they drafted Mac Jones. And the sports books, they weren't joking. They made it pretty hard, and they think that the Patriots are going to have a real bounce back. 8.5 wins at plus 130. If you're a gambling man like I am, I'll say it for entertainment purposes only, because where we are in Texas, sports betting is illegal, but in Massachusetts, it's legal. So what do you guys think? 8.5 wins for the Patriots. You going over or you going under? I have the Patriots going 10-7 on the year. So let me know down in the comments section of today's video. And it's going to be, you have Mike Vrabel as your coach, but it's going to be up to this guy right here, Drake Maye. And I think he's going to have a great second year. His OTAs today, he was on fire. Started off 7 for 7. You can go see that OTAs takeaway video. We'll have that in the comments section of today's show. But it's going to be up to Drake Maye, and Sports Illustrated, they had a good prediction for Drake Maye, which will be coming up just in a second. But I got to tell you guys the sale. This is the last time I'm putting the Pats Polo in the show. You can go to Fanatics. You can find this Patriots Polo for $45.99. Chatsports.com/Pats Polo. It's summertime, baby. I like to go golfing during the summer, and you got to wear a polo, so why not rep your team? Someone sees you on the course, or if you're at the 19th hole getting a drink, you wear a Pats Polo, they can talk about Drake Maye with them. Chatsports.com/Pats Polo. We'll have in the comments and description of today's video. Second prediction from Sports Illustrated, Conor, and it's about Drake Maye, his PFF grade. And he was second in PFF. Third. I have the list up for it. But they predicted that Drake Maye was going to be the Pro Football Focus grade leader, the highest among 2024 quarterbacks. And I think this is very well possible. He didn't play a full season last year. And if you look at the top 4 quarterbacks, these are your top 4 quarterbacks. Caleb Williams did not play well. I still don't think he's going to play well. I don't really believe in him. Jaden Daniels, that's your number 1 priority. That's who you got to beat. Bo Nix in his second year, if Drake Maye plays a full season, and with that improved offense, with Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams, Pop Douglas going into another season, especially with Josh McDaniels as your offensive coordinator, that's going to help. But you got to beat that guy right there. You got to beat out Jaden Daniels, because that man showed that he could possibly be one of the best QBs in the NFL. And they're only going to get better. People want to say that season was an absolute fluke. I don't believe it. You got to beat out Jaden Daniels if you want to have the best PFF grade in 2025. And you also, for Patriots Today, we want to beat out the Bills Breakdown this year, or this June. We started. It's only the beginning of June, and I looked at the analytics. We got 11 subs to start the month, and the Bills Breakdown still has a big goose egg, but they're going to bounce it up. So I want you guys to hit that big red sub button, subscribe to the channel, and let's blow them out the water. Let's blow the AFC East team out the water, and let's beat them in subs. Now, Drake Maye had a solid year last year. 13 games played. I hate that completion percentage number because it just is evil. But 2,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 10 receptions, and the one big-time throws is 14. Now, he did have a lot of turnover-worthy plays, but when you're running around with the offensive line that you had, specifically with Michael Jordan in the game, you're going to struggle. He can make plays with his legs. And he's only going to get better with time. And learning a new offense, it's going to take him a little bit. That's why we saw him struggle in OTAs the first 2 weeks. But it's early. You're learning the system. You're getting chemistry with your new additions to this roster. And I got 4 reasons why Drake Maye improves this season. The number 1, improved offensive line. You completely revamped it. You got your left tackle. You got your right tackle. You got a new center, Mike Vrabel at right guard, and then Cole Strange at left guard. Those are the two returning starters. I think if Cole Strange stays healthy, that could be very important to the Patriots O-line, but overall, way better than 2024. Your improved wide receiver room. Stephon Diggs. I know all the drama that's going on. He showed up to OTAs. Everything's fine. Take a deep breath. We can calm down now. Kyle Williams, also going to be a great rookie. And Efton Chisholm, an undrafted free agent, he's making the team. He's making the team. Another thing, age. Another year under your books. You've played a year of NFL football. You've learned the game. It's a lot different from college. You're getting comfortable in this league. And then the last one, Josh McDaniels. Alex Van Pelt was absolutely terrible. He was awful. He didn't know how to call plays. He didn't know what he was doing. Josh McDaniels has worked with the GOAT, Tom Brady. He's been all over the league, and he's always adjusting to new offenses. He says he wants to implement some RPOs. You get Drake Maye an RPO system, he's going to thrive. He's absolutely going to thrive. So my last question before we get out of here is, how many touchdowns will Drake Maye throw for in 2025? The books have him listed at 19.5. I think he could throw easily for 25 touchdowns. I know Josh McDaniels, once you get on the goal line, he's not going to be throwing the ball. You're going to hand it off to Ramondre Stevenson up the middle. But if you can go deep with Stephon Diggs and maybe even Mac Hollins, 20 touchdowns is easy. Let me know down in the comment section below. And also, you want to keep the conversation going. I tweeted out the video of Stephon Diggs going to OTAs, and it's kind of blowing up. So I'm always talking Pats. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at @TheRealAlper. And make sure you subscribe to Patriots Today. As always, let's go Pats.